there we go. Well, I almost triggered that the wrong way. Okay, no, it works out. All right, I've got a good connection over there. Let's go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and do that. And that. And that. That. And that. And that. No, it's the wrong thing. Oh, man, really? Of all the places that I forgot. There we go. Got it. Okay. Oh, I know why these are missing. You can't see this, but what I'm doing is I'm populating the few areas that didn't have a on Discord ride. When I got the last time, not the last time, time before that I tried to stream, and it didn't work, and I got a little bit angry about it. I was midway through posting all the stuff about it, and yeah, it didn't go over that well. So yeah, I had missed some places. Okay, so let's do our testing. But so far, amazingly, so good. So let's do test 1. Oh, I forgot to hit the button to enable this. Enable. There it is. And toil. Well, I see that, so that's a good sign. But why don't I see... Whoa. That can't be right. Hold on a minute. Is that right? Hold on. No, that's wrong. I thought so. Social stream thing just does not... It's so weird how this thing is set up. It really is. Where is it? I know it's there. Oh, interesting. It's not there. Why is it not there? Oh, I have to click this button. Sound source. Why would it go to that? That's really weird. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's try this. Maybe? Oh, okay. Well, that's it. It's just really, really badly sized. Hold on. Let me resize it. Let's go to transform. Let's go ahead and fit it. That gives me a starting point. There we go. And then I can drop it down to where it needs to be, which is about there. I am good. Welcome to the stream. Sorry, I'm just adjusting a couple things because for some reason the little chat thing did not work properly. Okay, that's... So let me just make sure. So I can see yours, but let's make sure they're all working. So I'm going to do a couple of tests here. Okay, I heard that one, and I see it. All right, excellent. So that's working. Let's do a test here, test 2. And I see test 2, and we will do test number 3. All 3 show up. Perfect. Close, close, close. Shrink down. I don't need this open anymore, and I don't need this open anymore, and we can get going. Oh, hey, Furcorn. Oh, so it's just you changed your name? Because it says Toil. You see that? It says Toil on the screen. That's really weird. Why does it say Toil? Wow. Yeah, it's weird. It says Toil on the screen. I don't know where that's coming from. But welcome. Yeah, I don't know why it says Toil. But that's what it says. There's got to be some reason for it, but I don't know. I don't know. That's okay. Doesn't matter. I know who you are now. So, let's see. Here we go. And we are done with all that stuff. All right, let's get going here. Oh, I remember to mute my phone. That's good. So now we'll do this. Do that. And then we should be all set. And there we go. Perfect. All right, I'm going to get a sip of water really quick. Well, happy Monday. Jeez, I didn't even know what day it was for a minute. Yep, happy Monday. Now that we have passed by Halloween, we're now in November. Okay, so let's see what we're doing here. Guess I got to figure this out. Okay, so... Yeah, he's pretty good. Oh, the hair. You know what? We gotta do some more with that hair. It doesn't quite look right to me. It should have more. That's the hand. It's the ogre. Where are his colors? There it is. Okay, what we need is a darker version of the hair. So let's go ahead and just get The hair darkened in here. I did do a new layer, yes. Yes, I did. All right, let's pull that brightness down to about there. Drop the saturation down, and there's our color. We're going to sample that. Let's go ahead and clear that layer out. Then we're going to jump over and we're going to grab our taper pen. Oh, right, I need the pen for that because it doesn't do it. Let me just see how big that pen is. Yeah, okay, that'll work. Wait. Yeah, that'll work. All right, so now let's start over here and let's start doing some, we'll do some kind of this type of, okay, well, it's got to be smaller than that. Let's knock it down to 5, say. There we go. Because I cannot seem, is my name back to this? We'll stop in here. Oh, so it's just stuck like that for 11 more days? Interesting. Huh. Well, that's fine. It doesn't matter to me. I just saw that and just assumed that it was a new person, but that's weird. Then again, I shouldn't say that because I just went through something similar with an account for an old account that I don't really use for much except for backing like photos up, and for whatever reason it got scrammed, and so they basically wanted me to sign up for a new account, and I had to like fight back and forth with them and say, no, I'm not signing up for a new account because I'm paying to back this stuff up. And finally they were able to get it to fix it, but at first they were just telling me I had to get a new account, which made no sense. And yeah, I don't know why this is so difficult for them to maintain usernames for things sometimes. It doesn't feel like it should be as tough as it seems to be for a lot of companies. Luckily, it hasn't been a big deal too many times, not until, like I said earlier in the week, and I did get them to fix it, but I was just really annoyed because I'm sitting here going, all right, I've had this account for how many years, and why did it suddenly get deactivated? By the way, nobody could give me an explanation. So that tells me that it was probably a mistake on their part or something. I also just had something happen recently that I'm not the biggest fan of FedEx as far as a delivery service. And they seem to have completely lost a magic card that I did for somebody. And I really think that they don't know where it is. They told this person that it got sent back because the form that I used for it was filled out wrong. Problem there is, it's the same form I've used multiple times for cards, never had a problem. Not to mention, they picked the card up with that form. So if it's actually the wrong form, why did they accept it in the first place? You know what I mean? Something about that doesn't make any sense to me. So I think they lost this person's card. Honestly, I think they don't know where it is. Which, you know, really sucks because the card came out really well and I sent it to this person. And I don't think they're ever going to get it. Because, I mean, if they did in fact return it, we'll see. I just want to say, did you get my Singing Monsters? No, I did not. Did not. But yeah, I don't know what happened with this card. You know, it's just like I've used the same form, and somehow, like I said, now of all times, the form is wrong, which I just frankly don't believe them. I don't think they're telling the truth. I think they lost the card and they're trying to blame it on a form. But you can see the tracking for it. You can see it right on their website, on the FedEx website. It shows the tracking. And it just stops. And then there's no updates. Which is still going? Okay. And that in the past, when I've seen that, that usually means they lost it. And trying to get them to actually admit that, of course, is a nightmare. They never want to admit they lost anything. But it doesn't... Nothing else makes sense. That's all I can tell you. Is that no other explanation... The wrong form thing I just do not believe. Just don't believe it. Because I've had stuff where I've tried to ship it and it... With you know, like the incorrect information or something. They won't take it. if it was really the wrong form, they would never have picked it up. So I don't believe that. I mean, there's really nothing I can do about it because it's you know, the problem with a lot of this stuff is it ends up being your word against theirs, which I don't, you know, isn't great. Where's this? What line is this? Let's see. That's that. That's that. That's that. I don't know if I even need that. I think I might just stick with the hand on this thing. Let's see. Oh, hey, Faint Waves. How you doing? Welcome. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well, too. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I am, well, I was just talking about, I don't know if you heard any of it. The only thing that's not great is that FedEx lost a magic card that I did for somebody. Unless it shows up, but I really don't believe it. I really think FedEx lost it. I don't like FedEx. I have said that many times. I don't like FedEx. I have found them to be one of the worst, at least where I am. I know it's different where different people are. So I know some people like FedEx and don't like UPS. So I'll freely admit that there is an element of, well, it depends where you are to it, right? So that's fine. I'm not going to say that FedEx is universally bad everywhere. I don't think that's actually true. But certainly in Northern California, and it's not just me, because I've talked to other people, it's not great. It just is not great. And like I said, this is a perfect example because this card was sent and had no tracking update. Oh, I think the last update from it was on... Well, okay, yes, right? So yes, the time of year right now, and that would be understandable if I just mailed it. I mailed this card in August, and the last update from FedEx was on 9/23. September 23rd, I think, was the last one I saw, where it just says it arrived in the other country, and then all the tracking just stops. And then the person called and asked for an update and was told that the wrong form was used. But it made it all the way to, I think, Austria before they realized the wrong form was used. Does that seem like something that you would believe? Because I don't. I don't believe that for a minute. You're telling me that it made it across the ocean and through customs. It cleared customs. And then suddenly somebody noticed that it was the wrong form? If that is true, all right, no problem. Go ahead, Furcorn, no problem. Go do what you gotta do. But yeah, suddenly, like I said, after it cleared customs, it's now gone, and it's suddenly the wrong form. Strange is one word for it. I have to believe, because when you send things like this, you have to say what it is. And you have to give it a value and everything for the insurance and all that stuff. So I honestly believe that somebody stole it. I think somebody just took it. I think somebody grabbed this person's card. You know, that they, because I didn't specify exactly what it was, but you have to say, okay, it's like collectible playing card worth this, because, you know, if you don't declare things properly, you know, you can have problems. So I don't lie on anything. I don't cover anything up. I don't mess around on the values and all that stuff, because I figure the minute I do that, that's exactly when somebody's going to check something, and then they're going to come back to me saying, yeah, you realize you did something fraudulent here? And it's like, oh, okay. So I don't mess around with all that stuff. I say what the thing actually is. I say what the thing is actually worth. And that's just how I do it. So I think somebody saw it and thought, oh, okay, this card is worth something. I'm just going to take it. Which is really scummy. And I'm not thrilled about it. But at the same time, it's the only thing that makes sense to me. Because, like I said, how did it get all the way over there before FedEx realized the... Oh, wait. Hold on, just looking at something. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Oh, no, that was right. Before they realized the wrong form was used. Yeah, no. I'm not going to say it's impossible. I'm just going to say I don't believe it. I'll just put it like that. I can't guarantee you 100% that did not actually happen. But if it did, that would indicate a humongous problem with the way FedEx does their stuff, which I also could believe because they're so bad at it. But at the same time, I just cannot believe that it got that far before somebody noticed the wrong form and now they're supposedly sending it back. But like I said, the thing is, I've had things that got returned before. Not a lot, but it's happened a few times. And the tracking will update with that. You will see that it says, returning to sender or something. There's an update. This thing doesn't have any updates. So I'm going to give it probably a couple weeks. And if nothing updates and that thing doesn't show up, I'm going to tell this person, hey, you need to go after FedEx and have them prove that the thing got sent back, because I don't believe it has been. And if it shows up, then I'm going to have to ask, because I've used the same, this is one of the reasons I do things a certain way. I've used the same mailroom for this that I've used for all the cards I've ever sent anywhere. And I've yet to ever have a problem. Now, they've taken a while. When they go overseas, as you would expect with customs, they will take a while. So I have had cards that have been stuck for weeks. That itself isn't unusual. I don't think it's particularly necessary. I think a lot of times that probably didn't have to be stuck for as long as it was, but I understand that's how customs work. That's okay. That's the way that they do it. And that's happened before, but the card always made it. So I never really, I didn't care that much. I went, okay, yeah, probably not necessary for it to have been that long, but whatever, the card got there. This is the first time it hasn't happened. That the card seems to be actively lost. Which is, like I said, because I just don't believe them. I just fundamentally do not believe these people when they say that this card got lost. I just don't. Or that had the wrong form. Again, this wrong form thing is really just bugging me because it just doesn't line up with anything. So I feel bad for this person who paid for a card, but I drew the card. They saw pictures of it. That card got sent. I have all the stuff for it. And somehow this thing just got lost. So, I don't know. I hope it shows up. Maybe it will. If it shows up, then I will resend it out and find out what they want me to do, because I really still don't believe this. I think if I were to call and talk to the right person, they'd say, what do you mean it's the wrong form? We accepted it. We took it. How could it be the wrong form? Our person picked it up. Of course, I think that person would then be in some trouble, because if they have, either they did one of two things. They either took the card or they accepted a package with an incorrect form, which they shouldn't have done. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. Like I said, it bothers me because I'm really, really good at being, thorough with the things, making sure I check addresses, all that stuff. I have a whole process for this stuff because I've sent a bunch of these cards. And that's the reason why this is now the first one that's been like this. And, I really don't believe it's from me using the wrong form. Because it is the same form I've used for all the cards. FedEx has one international form that I've ever seen. And this mailroom has always checked it and made sure, they run the address to make sure it looks like it's showing up as a legitimate address. So, again, why is this one having a problem? I don't know, but I have my kind of internal suspicions on it. But it sucks, because I do feel bad for this person, because their card is just somewhere. Somebody's got it. And I don't know what's going to happen with it. I really don't. And it's not their fault, and it's not my fault. That's the worst thing, is when something happens and it's not anything that anybody this person and I didn't do anything wrong. So you sit there and go, it's not right that this card is now somewhere. Unbelievable. I was thinking about it too the other day. The individual only emailed me late last night, because I was thinking about it. I went, yeah, I haven't heard anything back on that card. I wonder if it's still stuck in customs, because it seemed like it was stuck there for a while. But I've had cards get stuck like that. you know, that's the problem with shipping. It's one of the reasons I almost didn't want to ever do overseas shipping is because it so often gets stuck for just weeks in customs. And then, you know, they make the person who's getting it pay a tax on it and all this stuff. And it just, honestly, I've gone back and forth on whether I just don't want to do international anymore. And something like this makes me think that again, where do I really want to just keep doing this, or do I just want to stick with the U.S.? You know, and just say, well, if you want, you know, I feel bad doing that though. I don't want to do that. That feels scummy to me because there are a lot of people who are Magic fans that are international, and these people have generally been so nice to me that I feel bad to think of cutting them, you know, not doing it. But this is exactly the kind of fear I've had the whole time, too, was that something like this would happen because I just hate FedEx so much. It's because they're so bad at doing stuff. And that's domestic. I've had such miserable experiences with them that there was a part of me that thought, wow, I can't believe how smoothly it's gone with these international shipments. Well, I should have known they would figure out a way to make that streak end. And they did. I may call them myself, too, and see if they tell me the same thing. Because, you know, this person was calling from another country. I may call them and see if I can get a better answer on what's going on with this thing. And maybe they'll tell me what this form nonsense. Because it is possible that English is not this person's first language. So maybe there was something else involved. So I will probably call them and just see if what this individual was told is accurate. And it may not be this person's fault. It may be that they misunderstood what they were told. That happens. So, I don't know. We'll see. But like I said, it irritates me because... Okay, good. I thought things froze for a minute. Because I've had such luck with it so far, and sure enough, the streak comes to an end. And then I'm also messing around. I got this really great little handheld console emulator thing called the Anbernic RG40XXV for vertical. Basically looks like a Game Boy. And the thing's great, but I'm having a hard time remapping the buttons for the Nintendo games. I gotta figure that out. So, a very, very, very minor problem. Very minor, but an irritating one because the way that the Nintendo buttons map by default is not the most ergonomically comfortable way. It's sort of baffling to me that this is how they map the buttons because they make no sense for anybody who's holding this thing comfortably. It's not great. But every time I go to change the setting, it's not saving the setting for some reason. And I know it's in RetroArch, so I'll figure it out. It's probably just something simple. But I was fighting with that for part of the day today, too. So it's just been it has been a day of mild annoyances. Nothing I can really complain about. Nothing major. You know, small things. But they add up. That's usually the thing with small irritations, is they tend to add up. So yeah, I don't know why that config stuff is not saving, but I'll tackle that tomorrow. I'll get into that and see what's going on there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't think that one. I think you need the more high-powered one. There is an Anbernic that is a more powerful model, which I think will run PS2. I'll be honest. What I've done, because I have tried a couple of different handhelds for anything above PS1. And it's never quite worked well. Either the buttons were all over the place and didn't function correctly, or it just ran like garbage. So honestly, anything over PS1, PS2 and above, I run on the Mac in a piece of software called OpenEMU, I guess, for emulation, OpenEMU, whatever. And that runs really well. Because yeah, I'm the same way. There are specific titles that I really like playing, like SSX Tricky. I love that game. I think that's the best SSX game, and they never made another one like it. I love that game. And that runs great on the Mac in OpenEMU. It runs fantastically. Or Rival Schools, the original 2-disc Rival Schools. I was playing that the other night. It's great. Although that Rival Schools is getting a release next year, similar to the Marvel vs. Capcom collection that just came out. There's going to be one that has Rival Schools. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm getting that, and I'm going to tell you right now that Lando's getting that because we used to play that all the time, and I couldn't stand how much he used to beat me with the character called Shoma. It really irritated me. So we are going to relive some of those battles, let me tell you. And those will be recorded, and they will be on the show account. So look forward to that. Yeah. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Where's the black layer on this? On the bottom? Or is it on top? I'll bet you it's on the top. Yeah, it's on the top. All right, I'm going to leave it for now. I'm going to leave that alone for now. So let's bring the pencils back in. And let's take a look here. See what we got. Okay, yeah, that can go away. And that can go away. Yeah. I never played Power Stone, but I've always heard it's a good game. So I guess that will be something I will try when I get it. But I've always heard of that it's really good. I've just never played it, to be honest. Not for any reason, just never played it. But yeah, I've always been told, oh, Power Stone is great. You know, let me turn the colors off for it. Let me turn the pencils off. Let me turn the colors off just for a minute so that I can merge some of these layers. How many layers do I have available here? I should merge them anyway. It's too many layers. Too many layers to keep track of. So let's take a look. That's small lines. That's beard. That's tusks. Okay, so see, I can merge this down because that's the facial features. Okay. Wait a minute, what? Why is that missing? Hold on a minute. Did I miss something here? Why is... Oh, it's just a lip line. Got it. Hey, Furcon. I am still good. Not much has changed in the last few minutes, which I'm very happy to say. We have not had any... Wait. Yeah, the screen's still good. Okay. I was going to say, we haven't had any major problems, which I will take as a plus. Okay, so that's the beard. That's the facial features. That's face lines. That is face lines. Hold on. Those look like the same weight. So they can merge. Those are the same weight lines. Okay. That's beard. That's eye detail. Teeth. That's armor. And that's armor, so we can go ahead and merge that down. That's also armor. We can go ahead and merge that down. So that's armor. That's necklines. Oh, whoops. Did I not realize what I was doing there? I bet you I didn't. Yeah, that's the same line. I'm an idiot. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Let me get the paintbrush here. Let's take care of that. Let's take care of that. And then let's do we'll do a new line there. Let's see what the thickness of that line is. That's too much. Let's try this one. Way too small. Let's boost that up to, say, 15 maybe. Yep, that looks right. And let's just do a couple of armor. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I'm okay without that. It looks okay the way it is. So that's a black layer, that's a black layer, and that's a black layer. So why do I have separate black layers? For no good reason. There we go. Black layers are merged. So now, let's put our pencils back. So I need those spikes. So let's go ahead and do the spikes. Let's see here. So we want that to be about the same thickness as the armor, which is that. Perfect. So let's go ahead and do, let's see here. Let's bring that around like this. Come up to this sharp point. It's terrible. Terrible. Bring it up there and then come down like this. Sweep this around and I'll fix that because I can see that that end is not good. So let's chop that. Let's reseal this right there. Excellent. And then we'll do this one here. So let's sweep this out like this. Bring that. Oh, no. Way too shallow. It's the problem with trying to do it all in one line. And that's way too blunt on the end. I need a sharp tip. There we go. Oh, that's why. I see what I'm doing wrong. I'm not following the line. There we go. Yep, bring that down here. Fix those ends, because the ends are always the bad part. So let's just bring that in right there. Okay, we have the spikes on that side. And now we need the spikes on this side, which are going to be slightly different. These are going to be more like teeth, which I think was my idea with these, was to have these parts more like teeth that were bolted onto the armor. We'll fix that bottom end right there. Make it a little bit more sealed in. And then this one is kind of cut off, which is okay. So we just don't have to worry about that one as much because that one comes up. And then there you go. Okay, so that's the armor spikes. So we have those. Right, and then we're going to do some shading on those, which we will drop this way down to like 5. I want to see what that looks like. Yes, perfect. So we will go to whatever layer those little lines are on. Let's find those little lines, shall we? Not those. Although those would work too. No. 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 Where are those little lines? Wait. Definitely. Huh. Where are those little lines? They're in here somewhere. Oh, wait. Ah, there they are. I was going to say they must be under wherever I am. They were. So we will use those lines, and these will be just accent lines on these armor pieces, following what you can see here, the shading I put in. So we'll just do something like that. And we'll just keep going with this. And I am not at all concerned about going outside that line because if you've watched for a while, you know that I have multiple layers, so it'll be very easy to just erase that when I get to that point. Should be nothing to it. So we just keep going with these hatch lines or whatever you want to call them. I don't know what they're actually supposed to be called. I think hatch lines is a correct descriptor for these, is what most people would call them. Not cross hatch lines, because if they were cross hatched, they'd be like that. But I don't do cross hatching very often. In fact, I can't think of the last time I did it. I've never really liked the look of cross hatched lines. Just don't really like it. Not in how I do things. Other people do it, it looks good. I've never liked it in the work that I do. So I don't ever use them. Like I said, if I have, I can't remember when. So let me get a quick drink of water. Since there doesn't appear to be anybody watching at the moment anyway, so perfect. Water is delicious. Yeah, so I gotta look at the Amberneck thing because I know there are ways to change the button layouts. And it's just, like I said, the original Nintendo layout is just so bafflingly weird because it just... Now, obviously, if you were to look at the RG40 XX Victor, I guess, X-Ray Victor, you know, the original Nintendo controller was a very horizontal button arrangement. So A and B were basically right next to each other in a horizontal orientation. When they went to the Super Nintendo, the buttons were doubled, the face buttons. And because they rotated everything 90 degrees. And that's pretty much the setup that the... Well, I guess I should phonetic everything. Then it should be this. So that's the orientation that the Romeo Golf 40 X-Ray Victor uses. Wow, that's a lot. This makes that name so much longer, but at least that way you can find it if you want to look for it. So it's using the Super Nintendo kind of setup. Which is fine, except it doesn't make... I shouldn't say it doesn't make sense. It's not well suited for the original Nintendo. It means you end up having a very awkward kind of hand placement to be able to play the games. And that, for some games, it doesn't matter. But for any games that demand any precision, like, say, Bubble Bobble, where you have to jump very specifically while blowing bubbles to be able to do the platforming, it does make a difference. And in that case, with that game, it's really irritating. Because with that control scheme, it makes it... I mean, it's a good thing you have save states. Let's put it like that. Without those, I wouldn't make it 10 levels into the game. I really wouldn't. And I probably wouldn't play it because I just get too frustrated with it. Fortunately, with save states, it's not as big a deal, but I know you can remap the buttons. And the thing that's frustrating is it'll remap the buttons, and that will hold for me playing the game, you know, but then as soon as I turn the thing off and power it back on, it loses the config. And I'm certain there's a way to keep it. I am certain of it. I just don't know what it is. What color do I want to make those spikes? Let's think about this. I could take this color out because it's not going to be in here. So we can go ahead and let's go to painting. There we go. We can do this a little bit faster. Oop, not too much though. And let's see. Okay. And let's do that. Okay, so those are now decolorized, and I guess I can go ahead and do this too because I know this is going to end up being similar. Not the same, but very similar. So let's go ahead and take all that out. Okay, and then same thing with the gray, because that's going to get spiked. Or I should say it's going to get the spike color. Or tooth color, I guess, in this case. And then I'm going to have to... do I already have a mask for this? I think I do. Where's the mask on that? Here it is. Oh. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So let's go ahead and just mask this out, because that's also going to be over the armor seam that you see there. I almost, for this stream, continued working on editing the latest double feature episode, the movie double feature episode that I did with Dr. Doug Bielmeyer. But I didn't know. I don't know if people like the editing streams as much, so I decided against it. I opted not to do that, and so that's why I'm doing this. Almost did though, because I'm pretty close to being done with that. But you know, it's okay. And then I have another show I have to edit after that one. So I have no shortage of stuff I have to do, show-wise. Because I did one not the very next day. I recorded the second episode with Doug on Tuesday of last week. As of the live, if you're watching this live, it was Tuesday of this week. If you were watching this after the fact, it would have been the last Tuesday in October. And then, oh, hey, Timber Dragon. How you doing? Welcome. But yeah, I recorded on the last Tuesday of October. And then the following Saturday, I recorded a show with Daniel Ibertson, who has a YouTube channel titled Slopes Game Room, where he also has a channel called Slopes Adventures. And the Slopes Adventures one is kind of mostly what we talked about, which is like amusement parks and theme parks and stuff like that. And kind of talked about, because he's going with his kids to a lot of these, and now he's starting to record them. And we were talking about, you know, the theme parks that we went to as a kid, and stuff that's changed, and stuff that's better, and stuff that's worse. Because we're of a similar age, and so we remember kind of the same things. And he's been to so many theme parks. Incredible how many he's going to Dubai relatively soon to go to the Warner Brothers theme park that's there. I mean, he goes a lot of places. He is a theme park junkie for sure. And he takes his kids and they go to those things, which I thought was really neat. So yeah, I got to start editing that one. That one's not going to come out until probably December. So I have plenty of time for that one. The double feature episode, I wanted that one to be out today, as a matter of fact. Sorry, I'm yelling. And I didn't make it. It's 4 hours long. And I'm at like 3.5 hours. So I got close, but you know, it's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to come out at a certain time. I just kind of wanted to. So it will likely, unless something goes terribly wrong, or I make some kind of really dumb mistake, which I really hope I don't. But assuming that I don't, that will be out next Monday. Next Monday if you're watching this live. If you're watching this after the fact, it'll have been out for a long time when you see this, which would be the second Monday in November. And in that episode, we are talking about Michael Mann's film The Keep and the Clive Barker film Lord of Illusions. And as I say in the episode, I've been referring to that movie as The Lord of Illusions forever. And it's not. It's just Lord of Illusions. That's fine, Timber Dragon. Thank you for stopping by. Go ahead. If you got to go, go. No problem at all. I understand it's late in some places, so if you got to split, no problem. Thank you for coming by at all. Appreciate it. Have a good evening. Get some sleep. Because, as I've said before, sleep is really important, and it's not good for you or anybody else if you don't get enough. So go get your rest, so that whatever you're doing tomorrow, you can do well. Not a problem at all. Have a good evening. Again, thank you for stopping by at all. Appreciate you saying hello. That seems to be the theme this evening. I've had several people that just stopped in for a little bit and then took off, which is fine. Because like I said, these all get posted later. The live thing, I'm not monetizing anything, so I'm appreciative when people stop by, but it's fine. If they can't stay, or if they just watch it later, it's okay. I have realized that I am never even going to try to make money from streaming or doing videos because you know what? It's too much of a nightmare. It's too much of a hassle. I've seen what some people have had to do on YouTube. Even me with doing free stuff that's not monetized, the headaches I've gone through with YouTube, which is just not worth it. To try to make a living at it, forget it. No thanks. I prefer to do this stuff for fun. And unless something drastically changes, that's how it's going to stay. Because some of the stuff these people have to put up with their videos just suddenly being removed and all this kind of stuff, forget it. And I think that definitely happens more frequently with people who are monetizing their videos as compared to, you know, our channel. Both the channels that I run, they're both free. There's no monetization of any kind. So I think I'm a little bit luckier in that way. But even there, I still get videos taken down for stupid reasons. The movie review ones, because I'm playing clips. Which, yes, I'm playing clips, but, you know, it might be 7 minutes of a 90 to 2 hour long, 90 minute to 2 hour long video. And they're going to flip out over me playing a few minutes to try to sell people on seeing their movie. I'm not pirating it. I'm not telling people to go download it illegally. I'm telling them to go rent it and spend money on it. And they're still coming after me. But I'll tell you what. This next one that I'm doing, the Keep and Lord of Illusions one, if they try to take that one down, I'm appealing that one. I'll take the risk on a copyright strike. I really will. Because I don't care. It's just nonsense. And it's only in the purpose of reviews. I am not doing anything that is going to result in any company losing money. It's just ridiculous. And I've kind of just rolled over on it before, but not this time. Especially because with The Keep, there's such a beautiful special effect in that movie that is so amazing that I want people to see it. And, you know, so I have to play it so that you can appreciate it. It's this really, well, I'll tell you this, on the off chance that the video is gone or whatever by the time you see this later. If you're watching this, take a minute, go to YouTube, and look up, well, hold on, I'll tell you exactly what to search for. I want to tell you what the right term is. Now, there's always a chance, but by the time you watch this, whatever video I'm going to reference is gone, but I'm sure there's more than one. Let's see. So it would be, if you go to YouTube and you search for The Keep, Smoke Monster would probably do it. Let's see. Let's go to videos. Oh, okay. Don't use the word Smoke Monster because that gets you the lost video. Okay, it's not. Let's see. So it would be The Keep Molasar. M-O-L-A-S-A-R, I think. Yes, Molasar. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. It comes right up. You'll see there's at least a couple that show the effect. And it's... I guess it's titled... I'm going to try not to have this play music, so hold on a minute. I'm just going to mute this, but I think this is the one. Yeah, this is it. So you'll see a lot of smoke. And the clip itself is about 3 minutes. It's also got beautiful music, but just watch the effect of this. Even in not great quality, which a lot of these are, this is one of the most just singularly beautiful special effects I've ever seen in a movie. And it's practical. I mean, this is a practical effect. There's no CG in this thing. I'm just watching it now, and I am just spellbound by it. It is so awesome. It's such a great effect. Oh, man, I love just looking at that. Okay, anyway, sorry. I'm watching a video while I'm supposed to be drawing. Sorry about that. Anyway, go look at that, because my video might get pulled down. Who knows? And if it does, I'd still want you to see the effect, because it's magnificent. It really is. Okay, I'll do one like that. Let's do one like that. Okay. It is that good of an effect. So again, look up The Keep, K-E-E-P, like, keep out or keep away. Okay, how did I manage to make that line look like it's coming out of the neck? Jeez. Hold on, I gotta fix that. Do something like that. There we go. Oh, whoops. Okay, I just typed. Okay, I thought I hit something that did something. It didn't though. Anyway, The Keep, Molasar, M-O-L-A-S-A-R. Look that thing up. Look that magnificent piece of special effects work up and enjoy it, because it is spectacular. Let's look at the... what are we looking at layer count for this thing? I have 22 left. Okay, that's fine. 22 is a good number. I can work with that. Oh, yeah. If you've never... The Keep as a movie, and this is be a bit of a preview if you were to watch the video that Doug and I do. The Keep as a movie had a very, very troubled production. Such a bad time that the director, Michael Mann, who is a great director, went on to make a lot of really great stuff afterwards, including the TV show Miami Vice, the movie Heat, which is considered by many one of the greatest, I guess, crime movie or thrillers or dramas, whatever you want to call it, that's ever been made. Thief, his first film, is spectacular. Collateral, just so many good movies. In any event, the original version of The Keep was somewhere in the neighborhood. The first cut that Michael Mann did was right around, I think, 3 hours long or so, which was probably never going to get released in the theater anyway, because studios do not like movies to be... The ideal cut or runtime of most films is generally regarded to be 90 to 120 minutes. They don't like to go over that. Part of that is because a lot of audiences don't have the patience for longer films, and also it is a leftover of a time where the primary thing that you made a movie for really was to be able to play it in theaters and have, if you had it at 90 minutes to 2 hours, that meant that a theater could sell the theater out more quickly, because they could cycle through people more often. So you didn't want really long movies, because the idea was get the people in, let them watch it, get them out, get the next crowd in. And then you have to have time for cleaning. So honestly, I think most theaters would love all the movies to be 90 minutes. 90 minutes gives you a half hour to clean the theater, or 15 minutes, get the next one in, and keep the train rolling. So maybe the ideal time would be an hour 45. That gives you 15 minutes of cleaning. Sip of water. So Mann's original cut, 3 hours. The chances that 3-hour cut was ever going to get released as a 3-hour cut were next to nothing. So then it was cut down to 2 hours. And even that was rejected by the studio. They did not like it. I think in many ways because they didn't know what to make of it. Because what Michael Mann said, and I know I'm just putting these black streaks. It'll make sense in a second. I'm going to create shadows out of this. Michael Mann said that the goal was to make an adult fantasy film. And that's pretty much, when you watch it, exactly what it comes off as. And I think the studio just really did not have any idea what, famously, studios do not generally understand what artists do. That's not a radically new observation by me. There are many examples where you will find filmmakers in films that were, supposed to be one thing, and then the studios meddled and in many cases ruined the film, except in rare cases like Terry Gilliam's Brazil, where he was able to lobby them and really just pester the studio until they released his version of the film, which almost everybody agrees is the superior version to the one that the studio made, because they butchered the ending, which I won't tell you as a spoiler in case you want to see the film for yourself. But basically, the way the studio cut the ending was in a complete contradiction of the point of the movie. It was laughably the opposite of what the movie's message was. And in Gilliam's case, he was able to get them to release his version of it, but that doesn't often happen. More often what happens is what happened with David Lynch's Dune, or with David Fincher's Alien 3, or Michael Mann's The Keep, which is that the filmmakers disown the version of the film that ends up being released. And then in many cases, which is the case with Lynch and Mann, at least up until recently, there's been a little bit of movement on Lynch's part anyway, and Fincher, is they just don't ever want to mention the movie again. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to be involved in it. I'm going to sneeze, so I'm going to mute here. Woo! Close one. So unfortunately, even though if you were to watch The Keep, which I would encourage people to if you want to, if you watch it, there's a beautiful film in there. And it's a beautiful film that we'll likely never get the full version of. Because, the footage might exist. Some of the stuff, the special effects supervisor, I think, the person in charge of the special effects unfortunately died. And nobody really knows how he was going to complete some of the effects. So that you really can't make up for. That's why there's a lot of, if you were to watch the movie, you'll notice that the effects can be very inconsistent. And that's part of the reason, is because the supervisor... I think I'm going to sneeze again. Hold on a minute. Whew, okay. So yeah, the special effects supervisor died. And so, they didn't know how to do what he was going to do. And there's just... You can't fix that, because it was at a time where... now it would be like a computer template. And you could punch it up and you could figure it out probably, or somebody would have notes on a computer and you could kind of figure out, there would be ways around it. It wouldn't be ideal, but you could do it. You could finish the movie. But at that time, I don't think anybody knew how he was doing what he was doing. And the effects are gorgeous, and they're just haunting and otherworldly, and they're great. But if nobody knows how to do the effects, you can't finish it. The movie is basically frozen to a degree. They managed to do some stuff and they finished some things. But as I said, if you're really paying attention, you'll notice the effects kind of change. And there are effects that are clearly a lot better in some parts than others. And the ending couldn't get shot because they didn't know how they were going to do it. So the ending is not the ending that was originally planned. It's lots of stuff like that, and it's really unfortunate because, like I said, if you watch the movie, even in its imperfect current form, it's so beautiful, and there's such great stuff where you can just see, if only they could have made the movie the way they wanted to make the movie, it would probably have been something truly special. And unfortunately, as is, it is interesting, but it is definitely a flawed movie, and that's kind of the angle we took for these movies. Is we said these are movies that had lots of potential, but for many reasons, depending, they were not able to realize that potential the way that they were originally envisioned. And The Keep is certainly one of those things. I still would absolutely recommend people watch it. I think it's just such. Okay, I think I know what happened. So I believe that my microphone, the battery is pretty much dead on it. So when the battery died and the mic shut itself off, it caused the kernel panic in the computer. So it wrecked the stream. So I'm just on here to say sorry for the stream crashing. I was almost done anyway, so I'm going to show this off really quick before my mic dies again. And, oh, wait, you can't see it. Hold on. Let me get it so you can see it. Hold on a minute. Let me turn this off. Oh, reflector's not showing. Come on, before the mic dies again. Where is it? Okay, so yeah, the mic is basically dying over and over, and that's what's causing the problem. So I'm going to shut the stream off in a minute, but I'm going to show you my